Have you ever felt like someone was watching how you react? Instead of listening to what you say, like they weren't arguing with you, they were studying you, testing your confidence, testing your patience, testing your boundaries. Most psychological tests don't look like tests. They look like normal conversations. But if you know the signs, you'll see them instantly, and once you do, you'll never react the same way again. Stay until the end because the last sign is the one that destroys most relationships silently. People test others for one reason: to measure power. They want to know how strong you are emotionally, how easily you can be influenced, how much you're willing to tolerate. Testing is subtle, it's rarely direct. And today we break down the 7 signs someone is secretly testing you, so you don't fail without realizing it. Sign number 1, they tease you as a joke. It starts small, a sarcastic comment, a subtle insult, a playful disrespect. And then they say, "I'm just joking." But watch carefully. Were they really joking? Or were they watching your reaction? Teasing is one of the oldest psychological probes. If you laugh nervously, they escalate. If you get emotional, they label you sensitive. They are measuring your boundary strength. Strong response? Calm smile, steady eye contact, no overreaction. A test passed is rarely repeated. But this next one is more subtle. Sign number 2, they delay replies on purpose. You send a message. They read it. Silence. Hours pass. Then suddenly, they respond casually, not busy, not apologetic, just controlled timing. This is a psychological test of emotional dependency. They are measuring. Will you double text? Will you show anxiety? Will you seek validation? People test investment levels silently. The more you chase, the lower your perceived value. But silence isn't the only timing tactic. There's a more aggressive version. Sign number 3, they suddenly withdraw attention. 1 week they're attentive, engaged, warm, interested. Then suddenly, cold, short replies, reduced energy. Why? They're testing your reaction to instability. Will you panic? Overcompensate? Chase harder? Sudden withdrawal exposes emotional attachment levels. This is especially common in dating dynamics, and people fail this test daily. But the next sign happens in conversations, face to face. Sign number 4, they hold extended eye contact. You're speaking. They don't interrupt. They just stare, longer than normal. Not angry, not smiling, just observing. Extended eye contact is dominance testing. Your brain starts reacting. Did I say something wrong? Why aren't they blinking? Are they judging me? If you look away quickly, you subconsciously surrender ground. Confidence under silent pressure passes this test, but eye contact isn't the most dangerous test. Silence is. Sign number 5, they create awkward silence after you speak. You finish making a point, and instead of replying, they say nothing. Now there's tension. You start adding more, clarifying, softening. You reveal more than intended. Silence is a social pressure tool. Most people rush to escape it. Whoever controls silence controls rhythm, and whoever controls rhythm often controls the interaction. But some tests aren't about silence. They're about rules. Sign number 6, they push small boundaries first. They cancel plans last minute. They interrupt you lightly. They borrow things without asking. Small things, almost harmless. But here's the pattern. They escalate gradually. Why? Because they're measuring what you tolerate. If you allow small disrespect, you signal flexibility under pressure. Boundary testing is incremental. People rarely jump straight to major disrespect. They start small, and if there's no correction, they go further. The final sign is the most dangerous, because it feels harmless. They ask hypothetical questions about loyalty. What would you do if? Would you still be with someone who? Would you ever leave if? These questions are not curiosity. They are future stability tests. They want reassurance, security, leverage. How you answer shows your independence level. If your answer sounds overly dependent, power shifts. Hypotheticals are windows into your insecurity, and people use them to measure emotional control. Why people test others. Testing isn't always malicious. Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes it's fear of being controlled. Sometimes it's subconscious dominance behavior. Humans constantly scan for stability, leadership, emotional strength. Testing is how they gather data. The key isn't paranoia. The key is controlled responses. Calm, measured, unreactive, because the strongest reaction is often no reaction. Now that you know the signs, watch conversations differently. Observe patterns. Notice silence. Notice timing. Notice small boundary shifts, because the next time someone tests you, you won't react emotionally. You'll recognize it, and recognition is power. Sometimes the strongest move is simply passing the test without letting them know you saw it.